Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. For guys, I'm your ever-loving host, Jotty. We're going to look at the Deadman today, and I'm going to start with something which I didn't think I was going to be doing. I certainly didn't think it was going to be a theme for the week. But yeah, it also has yesterday's comic book. It has like a really nice, positive queer message in there, without worrying about putting rainbows all over it and trying to tap into that rainbow capitalism kind of thing. It just, the creators of the comic book made a decision, put it in there for no reason other than it made sense at the time. They had a point they wanted to make, and that point is, if you're in the DC, if you're a young kid worried about coming out to your overly religious parents, don't worry about it too much, because in the karmic balance, loving anyone swings you more likely to go to the good place. And I like that because it kind of shows that love is a good thing and people should be free and encouraged to love who they feel comfortable loving, or not doing in that case. I mean, yes, maybe there's some ace representation that would disagree with it, but overall, I think it's a good thing to do it. And like I say, it doesn't even really tie in that heavily to the plot. There's a whole bunch of little character beats where we see the world writ large and Boston Brand navigating his way through it. This one, there's moments which doesn't come back and tie into any other plot thread, at least in the first issue. It was simply done because the creators, not DC Comics, the creators felt like they had something to say and they chose time to say it, and I appreciate that. Now, people watching this review are like, yeah, but it is a review, Shorty. Come on, get on with it. You've got like 300 seconds. You use 90 of them. Get on with it. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. There's also a whole bunch of other stuff we're talking about in this comic book, and all of it is positive. I don't have a single negative thing to say about this book, including the cover. It's immaculate. I mean, I'm a fan of the artist anyway. Martin Morazzo is brilliant. I mean, these are the people who did Ice Cream Man, and I've loved that from the beginning. And a lot of their little side story spin-off stuff they've done, like the little 6-issue anthology arcs they do, all fantastic. This cover, though, is very special. It uses negative space quite effectively, also understands what you can put through extra levels of detail in, but it uses really nice colouring to kind of invite you to investigate the detail without being overwhelming with this. The kind of cover you can find yourself going back to and always seeing something cool and new, and I love that for it. The artwork inside is very much of the brand you'd expect from the team behind Ice Cream Man, which means it does veer ever so slightly into Uncanny Valley territory, just a little bit, not too far, not to the point that it's like really uncomfortable, but it's a little bit off kilter, a little bit unsettling, and it is that kind of thing which I like for the entire creative team's output. Even the more horrific elements of Ice Cream Man never really hits me personally as scary. It's more unsettling that these kind of things exist and take place in the world that they have created. The characters are all just a little bit off, and they engage with the strangeness of the universe in ways that make sense for that world. For this one, it's far more DC. It is a little bit more down the barrel, but it works quite effectively by the fact that we do have supernatural stuff and stuff about the afterlife and gods and goddesses in there. It means we're not just dealing with people in capes beating people up. It gives them a chance to tell deeper, richer stories. And this first issue is doing a lot of setup for that. Like I say, there's a lot of beats where it is just seemingly little stories of people in the world that Boston Brand encounters as part of his job, that being the Deadman, but it does then build up to an adversary which is hopefully, expectedly going to be the main point of contention for the rest of this miniseries. And if that's the case, I am liking it, because part of it feels very anti-capitalist, feels very anti-tech bro, also feels quite pro just being, I don't want to go as far as like being the best version of yourself, but being comfortable being yourself. There's quite a lot of allowing people the freedom to just be, which I really quite like as a story thing. And in terms of how it's presented, it is genuinely a really good looking book as well. Like, yeah, I know I've said it fits in with the aesthetic that they've done before, but I don't want anyone to think that that is a negative thing for me. There's a reason why Ice Cream Man is such a popular comic book, that when Eli Roth does a movie with a similar name, everyone thinks it's based on this. It isn't based on Ice Cream Man, that movie, totally different things, but the artistry in it and everything about the work these people have done before and in this is exactly the kind of thing I want. It takes off exactly as seriously as it needs to be. It has fun with line work. It does really nice POV switches when it needs to. It does go into quite brutal moments as well. I genuinely was surprised that DC's own, I mean, not really even proper guidance, but just, you know, what they expect people to pay attention to says 12 or 13 plus. It goes to some dark places and touches on some quite heavy topics. And I do think, yes, tweens, teenagers probably will get something from it, But I found myself like really getting into the metaphysics of it and really enjoying the stories it kind of tells about what it means to be alive in a universe where life is impermanent, but that is one of the good things about it. And I love all that kind of stuff. It really, really suits the kind of stuff I'm in the mood for, and it is done with passion and love, and I adore it for that. That's me for now, though. Until I see you all again, look after yourself, everyone. Stay safe.